At the center of the Great Awakening map lies a powerful idea, that behind governments and elections, a hidden network quietly shapes global events. The term often used is deep state. Historically, it referred to permanent bureaucratic institutions, intelligence agencies, defense departments, and career officials who remain in place regardless of political leadership. Agencies like the CIA, MI6, and Mossad operate with secrecy by design, conducting espionage and national security operations. But online narratives expand this concept much further, suggesting a coordinated global cabal of elites directing wars, financial systems, and political outcomes. While secrecy in government is real, there is no verified evidence of a unified shadow government controlling world affairs. Still, in times of uncertainty, complex power structures can feel invisible, and invisibility often fuels suspicion. The map doesn't just claim hidden power exists. It claims everything is connected. What if the biggest political story of the last decade isn't what happened, but what people believe happened? The Great Awakening map centers around two flashpoints, the 2016 and 2020 U.S. elections. In 2016, intelligence agencies concluded foreign influence campaigns occurred, but they also confirmed vote totals were not changed. In 2020, pandemic-driven mail-in voting expanded rapidly. Allegations of fraud spread across social media at record speed. More than 60 court cases reviewed those claims. Judges across multiple states found no evidence of outcome-changing fraud, yet public trust continued to decline. Why? Because when institutions, media, and political leaders send conflicting signals, uncertainty grows. And uncertainty is powerful. The map connects scandals, whistleblowers, investigations, and global events into a single narrative, suggesting hidden coordination behind visible politics. But in complex democracies, correlation doesn't always mean coordination. The real story may not be about secret control. It may be about how information spreads, and how belief systems form in the digital age. What if the real financial story isn't collapse, but transition? Every modern economy runs through central banks. In the United States, the Federal Reserve controls interest rates, money supply, and crisis response. When inflation rises and rates increase, borrowing slows. Markets react. Confidence shifts. On the global level, institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank step in during economic distress, offering loans and structural programs. Supporters call it stabilization. Critics call it dependency. Meanwhile, global debt has reached historic levels. Governments owe trillions. Corporations leverage expansion. Households rely on credit. That pressure fuels reset conversations, amplified after economic discussions at the World Economic Forum. Officially, those discussions focus on sustainable growth and digital transformation. Online, however, some interpret them as signs of coordinated restructuring, from debt forgiveness theories like Nesra and Gassara to speculation about gold-backed currencies. And then there's cryptocurrency, decentralized, borderless, outside traditional central banking systems. So the real question isn't whether change is happening. It's whether we're witnessing instability, or evolution of the global financial system. The COVID-19 pandemic was not only a global health emergency, it became a global debate about trust. One major question focused on the virus's origin. Scientists have examined two primary possibilities, natural transmission from animals to humans, and the lab-related incident hypothesis. While investigations have explored both, no final public consensus has definitively confirmed one single origin. At the same time, vaccines were developed at unprecedented speed using advanced mRNA technology. For many experts, this marked a breakthrough in medical science, but for some citizens, the rapid rollout raised concerns about long-term data and regulatory oversight. Pharmaceutical companies generated significant revenue during vaccine distribution, which fueled criticism about profit motives. Supporters argue that large-scale private production made global access possible in record time. Lockdowns and public health mandates also divided opinion. Governments stated they aimed to slow transmission and protect hospital systems. Critics questioned economic damage and civil liberties. Ultimately, the pandemic exposed something deeper than a virus. It revealed how quickly information spreads, how narratives form, and how public trust can shift during crisis. Understanding the difference between verified evidence and online speculation remains one of the most important lessons moving forward. What if the pandemic didn't just challenge global healthcare systems, but also reshaped how people trust information? When COVID-19 first emerged in Wuhan, China, the world searched for answers. Scientists began investigating its origin. Many studies supported a natural spillover theory, similar to past outbreaks. Others examined whether a laboratory accident could have played a role. The World Health Organization and multiple intelligence assessments have stated that investigations continue, with varying levels of confidence across agencies. As vaccines were developed at record speed, hope and skepticism grew at the same time. Health authorities, including the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, emphasized clinical trial data and ongoing safety monitoring. Yet online discussions questioned transparency, long-term effects, and pharmaceutical profits. Lockdowns and emergency policies were described by governments as temporary measures to reduce transmission and protect hospitals. Critics, however, raised concerns about civil liberties and economic consequences. The pandemic became more than a health crisis. It became a global test of trust, in science, institutions, corporations, and leadership. And in the digital age, uncertainty spreads almost as fast as a virus.